friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you consider subscribing, and if you're back, welcome back. Today I am here to do a WIP and chat with you all. So WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat stands for chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today. No, I don't just have a giant grid in front of me for fun, but you guys, I am starting on the second panel of my cross stitch conversion project. I am so excited. I thought we could go ahead and prep the canvas and get it rolling like all together in this WIP and chat. I just thought that would be super fun. So I am, let me give you a quick rundown though on what I'll be using. But I was just first going to mention that in these WIP and chats, I just like to catch up with you on my week. Hopefully I can keep you company. If you are working on a project yourself or out and about, whatever it is, I'd also love to hear from you in the comments, just how you're doing, what you've been up to, what you were doing while we chatted, and I chatted at you. So anyway, my cross stitch conversion project that I'm currently working on is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. That's the name of the chart that I got from Heaven and Earth Designs. I sourced the canvases and the diamonds from Evermoment, and I'll be using the Pattern Keeper app on my Fire tablet from Amazon, my Amazon Fire tablet, and I, as far as tools go, will be using this pen, which I just opened in my small shop haul. This is from Norse Alchemist. The Skinny Metal Multi-Placer, which I've been getting some questions about lately. I get these kind of in bulk from an AliExpress store that I always have linked in my WIP and chat. It's kind of towards the bottom of the list. But you can also get, there's some versions you can get on Amazon as well. But these are just the least expensive, and I get the biggest size they currently offer, which is a 10 placer. And then I will be using Naturama's Mud and Sugared Pralines in my single placer. And then I just got this just came in my small shop haul. This is my Enablers Outpost Chit in the scent Chocolate Mint. I use this in my multi-placer. The tray is from Made in one of the many pink filaments that she has. The washi tape that we're going to go ahead and put on the border here when we prep the canvas is from Simply Gilded. And then this is actually this is an enamel pin that's from Joy Addict. And I just unboxed this in my small shop haul. This actually had a very brief little feature over on my Instagram reels where I just kind of spur them out. I was like, let me do a quick little reel, because I was going through and converting a bunch of my pins into cover minders. I was like, let me do a reel on this. So this was the pin that kind of featured where I snapped the pin portions off and just glued on some magnets. So I have a whole video dedicated to this process. You can also watch it in like 30-second short form over on Instagram, but I'll link to the video that I've done here on YouTube as well if you want to see a more in-depth demo. But anyway, this is gonna be my cover minder today. I'm gonna shift all of this stuff out of the way because we got to do a couple of things to prep the canvas really quick, and then I'll pull up my chart and we'll get started. So yay, you guys, I seriously can't tell you how excited I am to get to finally be working on the second panel of this canvas. It feels like, it just feels like a big accomplishment, honestly. I was really proud of myself to have finished the first panel. And then I told myself that I really wanted to work on and complete at least one like regular kit for the new year. And then after I finished one kit, then I could come back to this one. So I did. I finished Deity of the Forgotten by from Made by the artist Femke Deborah. And that was lovely to work on. So lovely to work on. I just was really impressed, honestly, with like all of the quality. I was looking for some feedback to be able to give her, and I was kind of struggling a little bit. I was feeling kind of nitpicky about the feedback that I was coming up with. And so I was like, just honestly, this quality is so incredibly amazing for like one of your very, very first runs of kits as a diamond painting company. So there are a couple of things with like skin tones, the colors and some skin tones that are honestly, as it turns out, are kind of common pitfalls when it comes to skin tones. So a lot of it has to do with the limitations of the DMC and what's available as diamonds. So there was no shade that I was throwing at her. Okay, which end is this coming from? Okay, so yeah, we'll start over here. I really like this color of washi. I don't know if it'll fit, if it'll work, if I'll have enough to go around all the panels, but we're gonna try. I thought it was a really nice set of colors that kind of matched the project pretty well. But yeah, there's like just a little bit of that glue that goes past the edge of the drill field. A lot of people are like, what do you use washi tape for? I basically always do a washi border on my canvases because I don't really want to get dirt or dust trapped in this border. And then on a regular canvas, I'll use washi tape to section off my canvas. I'm not going to use it to section off this canvas because I work in more of a grid form, like 10 by 10 blocks. I do have a playlist dedicated to my cross stitch conversion project. I'd like to do an update video though, letting you know how the project is going. And now that I've finished the first panel, I can go in and do an update to be like, okay, well, here's the first panel. Here's what it's been like working on this project and all that sort of thing. I feel like I really kind of dropped the ball in general with this project, where I had honestly thought that it was just going to be something that I was going to have to work on, that I was going to be working on mostly like last year, and that's just not the way it worked out, and that's okay. But now I'm like, I'm going to play some catch up again, and get back to it. And there's lots of my fellow creators who are doing cross stitch conversion projects now, so at least you're not like actually waiting on me, I don't feel like. By the way, any random noises and shenanigans that you hear, if my camera randomly shakes or something like that, let me tell you about the joys of having a kitten. He has been a huge stinker, but he is a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun, but he is definitely more active at night. After the kids go to bed, he starts coming down and causing trouble. He really wants to play with our older cat, and she's not really having that. But he just, oh my gosh, did you guys watch my small shop haul video that I put up? Well, it'll be yesterday, Sunday. There was a part, like maybe not even halfway into it, where you would have noticed that it like basically mid-sentence just suddenly went silent. And I did put a note up on the screen, but I was like, I wonder if people will see this, will look up and they'll see it. Skip I knew he was kind of messing around like with the packaging and stuff from my small shop haul packages. And then I kind of felt like a little bit of a tug from where I had my mic on, like on me. And I was like, oh, he's batting at the mic cord, and came to find out after the fact, literally as I'm editing the video, that he wasn't just batting at the mic cord, he chewed through it. He just chewed through it. It wasn't particularly thick, but like, no, he chewed through it. I just was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, there was like, I edited it out and because I didn't want it to hurt people's ears, but as I was editing it myself and listening back, it was like, it was just going along, la da 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 da. And all of a sudden there's like a series of pops in my ear, and then it's silent for a few seconds. And then all of a sudden the audio was muffled the whole rest of the video. And I was just like, oh. And I went back and looked at the cord, and yep, no, he chewed through it. He literally chewed through it. So I ordered a new one, but for this video at least, you guys, there's I'm not using my mic, so the audio might not be ideal, but I think you'll forgive me. I just am like, the dog ate my homework. No, the kitten chewed my cord. Okay, so I'm gonna, because this is so long, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll the one end just a little bit so that it's not completely out of control on my table here, and then we'll clip it. I just use binder clips. I used it on my last project, and I just try to keep it from, oh no, don't go up at the end. See, I'm a mess, you guys. Hold on a second. I was like, this will be fun. I'll prep this canvas with you guys. You guys could see the process, and instead I'm just like, this is how you don't do the thing. This is how you make a mess doing the thing. All right, there we go. I think that'll work. See, that's just clipped, rolled. That's a little more manageable. Okay, so let's see. I want to make sure you'll be able to see the area I'll be working on. So if you take a look at the canvas, you can see it's kind of faint. But this line here is slightly darker than the rest, and then so is this vertical line right here. And that breaks this into a 10 by 10 grid. You can see it if you look all the way across, right? You can, especially the vertical lines, I feel like are really obvious. The horizontal are not as obvious to me. The vertical are. So I always work in these like 10 by 10 sections. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go along and I'm gonna work in columns. So I'm gonna work this whole column, top to bottom, like all the way down here. I did add, I believe, 1 centimeter of extra on either end. So we should have like 4 or 5 or 6. I don't remember. I think it's 6. I think 6 squares in total that will be left blank when we get to the bottom. as we go across. Like, I'm 99% sure that's what's going to happen. If I'm remembering from the last canvas correctly. So here's what I usually do is I go through and, so normally I cut along here, but since I'm not positive, actually I know how to find out though. Hold on a second. No, I'll do it later. It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel back the plastic cover till it's at that first vertical line, 10 across. And I'm going to kind of like fold the plastic a little bit so that it sticks going down. And then what I do is then I use the release paper to just kind of cover up this part so that I don't get my hand in the stickiness, because then I work from the top square to the bottom. This is just my process, it's just what works for my brain. So then we're going to start up at the top. And we have that release paper down. So yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I might bring you guys down a little bit though, because I feel like you're a little far away. And then I got to get my colors and all my other stuff set up. So I have 2 trays of Elizabeth Ward containers with all my colors. So this is like the second half of the DMC. I usually put that one up there. And then got my other one. Oh, there's some extra release paper in that one. It's fine. But yeah, here's the first set. And I have a whole, I think I know I have a whole unboxing video, but I also have a whole like kitting up video, I believe, where I talk about my process for kitting up, so you can see what that looks like. And like how I organized it the way that I did and how extra I was and stuff like that. So, okay, let me grab my chart and have it handy as well. Have my tools and stuff handy. Thanks for hanging out with me while I do all this. Kindle likes to like throw, don't tell my kids my password, ads at me here in the home screen. So this is fun. So I'm working the right half of the first row. So this red arrow here marks the halfway point left to right, and I think there'll be one top to bottom as well. Let me see if I can show you the image more easily. Will it let me? Yeah, there's the image. Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. It's one of the bookshelf style ones. So the first column I did was the top left shelf, and it ended like right here. So we're going to pick back up and we're going to do this half. That does let me zoom in. Nice. Okay. So that's the half of the image we'll be doing. I think that I cut right here. It was by this purple book. I think it was halfway. And then we're going to do this side. And this was the first half that I did. Was up to like there. I was debating. I was like, do I want to go top to bottom or do I want to go left to right? And I was like, it'll be really rewarding to have like the whole top shelf done. So that's kind of why I decided to like continue left to right. Okay. So now I want to actually go back into the chart. Oh, so I'll be picking back up. Ooh, that's going to be a little tricky. That's going to be a little tricky for my brain. Ooh, okay. We're picking up partway through a grid of 10. How much space did I end up having left over on the other one? I'm so torn. Do I start partway through the grid or do I start over here and I'm just halfway off the whole time? I didn't think about that, you guys. Oh, snap. That's going to be mildly inconvenient. Hold on a second. I'm going to go double check my other canvas and see how many squares were left over so I know how many squares I'm going to have left over on this one and see if it would work for me to start 5 over. Okay, I'm going to be right back. Okay, so I actually had 5 individual squares left on the last canvas. So that should actually work out perfectly, but I'm going to do this a little bit different. So instead what we're going to do is, because this will just be so much easier to work with. What I'm worried about here is, you see that we have this dark line going right here that's like the side of a grid or whatever. What I want to happen is, sorry, I'm scrolling through my chart and then I can show you. I have to do a lot of scrolling. Is I want the dark line on the chart to match up with the dark line right here. So I'm going to start 5 squares over. You're going to see 5 blank squares on this left-hand side. And then we're going to do these 5. And then this dark line right here is going to match up with, like, all the way across vertically. It's going to match up that way and horizontally too. So how I'll do this is that I'm just going to do a cut long ways here. so that when I'm peeling back the plastic, that this first 5 squares is going to stay covered, if that makes sense. So let's see, right here, I'm going to cut all the way down. You guys are really getting to see my thought process and my learnings as I do this canvas. And for those of you that are experienced, either at cross stitch and or converting a cross stitch conversion, or I don't know, how much am I making you cringe with some of the choices that I'm making? You guys, I'm just making it up as I go, and I'm a hands-on learner, you know. I'm just like, here we go. Okay, so I think, just for sake of ease, let's go ahead and we'll do a full 1.5 square section. So I'm going to peel back all the way to here, actually. Then we'll fold. Trust me, this will make sense once I start painting, I hope. for all our sakes, I hope it starts to make sense. Put the release paper back down. This is just release paper that I got from, I think, Amazon. It might have been Star Or, but I don't think I'd ordered like directly from Star Or, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got that. Got my chart. Got my drills. We're fine. Okay, so this, let's see. That's going to be number 380. Now, the other thing I like to do is, I think especially because I'm starting this canvas here, is I will occasionally, usually about like every 300, I'll grab one of these little tabs, and since we're at the beginning of a new canvas, I'm just gonna mark 380 and like put it right there. Just in case. So that is gonna be that spot right there. And because I'm so extra, because with all the rolling and unrolling I do, I tape this down as well, just to make sure it's actually gonna stay there. Again, how ridiculous is my system here? Whatever works for you guys is what you should go with. Okay, let me start painting and start actually talking to you guys. So, hi, how are you? We're like 20 minutes into this WIP and Chat, and not a single drill has been placed yet. So let me load up my pen as quickly as I can, and we'll get rolling. So, like I said, I finished I'm not really using this cover miter, it's just gonna hang out and look pretty. I finished my first kit of the year, which is my Mina Made kit, Day of the Forgotten. I will have a post review on that soon. I will also post the finish on Instagram. Let's see, this WIP and Chat's going up Monday. So today I'll have a WIP and Chat, or the finished photo posted on Instagram for you guys. And I'm excited to get to share that. The crystals in that kit were magical. Excuse me. I'm extremely excited to get to be back to this kit. I've been itching to start this panel since I finished the first one, but I don't want to burn myself out on it either. So I don't know. I wonder, there's part of me that wants to be like, okay, for how I can sort of work on this project consistently. Maybe it's like I complete one regular kit, and then I come back to this kit and work on this kit for 5 days or a week, or to a certain arbitrary like milestone that I want to hit or something like that. I don't know, it's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see. Like I said, I really badly do not want to burn out on this project. So just gonna follow my nose. Okay, actually I prefer to have this over here to work with. All right. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to film ahead for the week, because I'm gonna be going out of town starting on Thursday, and I want to have lots of content for you guys still. So I am thinking ahead to that, of course, and I'll have a sneak peek on Friday, and I would like to get another couple of unboxings up and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have some time to film ahead this week, like I said. And yeah, so anyway, other things that have been going on. Let me try to collect my thoughts, because I feel a tiny bit scatterbrained right now after sort of feeling flustered with starting this project in front of you guys. I wanted to say how much I appreciated all of the kindness after last week's WIP and Chat, where you guys just continue to make me feel I don't know, just very, very lucky to have the subscribers and the followers and the viewers that I do, that you just consistently make this like a place where we really are all okay to share vulnerably about like what's going on with our mental health and whatnot. And just time and time again, you guys prove that to me. So I appreciate that that was also the case from last week. There were a few you guys that had reached out and just mentioned that you resonated with the idea of like, well, discovering that like this medication doesn't work or something, and maybe you need to revisit things. And I'll say I hope that I'm wishing you luck. I hope that you're able to get to a better place and figure things out like with your doctor and stuff like that. How would you guys like to be a little bit closer to where I'm working? Hold on a second. So you can see just a little bit better what we're working with here. All right. So yeah, thank you for the feedback as well. I'd asked you guys for some ideas for if there's particular content that you would like to see this year, and I appreciate that you guys shared that. So we'll see what we can make happen this year. I'm looking ahead even just to the rest of this month to go, okay, like what other kits do I want to work on and stuff like that. I have a kit from Carrot Art that I do want to work on this month. I did just really kind of get hooked on, hold on a second, did I mess that up? Okay, no, we're okay. Another like idea for a video series to do after some feedback on a recent unboxing. And so the wheels are turning on that, but that will be a little ways out. It's another sort of comparison video, but I'm excited for the possibilities with that. And yeah, so we shall see. I've seen some friends like post about some other diamond painting companies and stuff on Instagram lately that I'm like, I thought they just did accessories. I didn't know that they had diamond paintings. And so I have a couple of shops I would like to maybe go and check out just to make sure I'm not like totally missing out on some fantastic things that are out there. So I got that on my radar too. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And yeah, I'm continuing to feel pretty like motivated, pretty good. I was able to knock out a good amount of my to-do list this week. And yeah, just continue to feel, hold on, what is happening? I've messed something up. That's what it is. You go right there. Why is this? I am really sorry, you guys. I have done a cross stitch conversion as my WIP during a WIP and Chat before and not felt this thrown before. I think it's because there's a couple of things going on with the chart that are requiring more concentration than usual. Plus it's like the starting a new panel and starting with like 5 squares over. It's also like, I didn't realize that there's a page break, like there's an end of a page on this side. So yeah, there's more going on than I realized. And I'm like, oh, I set myself up for some extra work here. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Just, yeah, no, bear with me, please. Oh gosh. So I've also, in addition to being able to knock out a good part of my to-do list, I've also continued to feel decently social, you know, connecting with friends by text and stuff like that. And feeling like I can be responsive, and that's a good feeling as well. Adam and I were joking about, his parents were over today, and we were joking a little bit about just how different I think Adam and I are as far as like introvert and extrovert and stuff like that. And I was talking about how it's like, if I'm even like with good energy, if I'm around friends for like hours, then it wipes me out and I'm like, I just need to sleep. And she'd go straight to sleep after. Whereas Adam could like happily be around people for much, much longer. I was like, this is just the difference between introvert and extrovert. This is exhibit A. The boys go back to school tomorrow, which I'm excited for, but also a little anxious about, because it feels like they just have been home for so long. They're not, especially Connor's not super stoked about going back to school, but it's okay. It'll be good to get back into a routine and stuff, and it'll be fine. But we still just have the one car, so that's gonna still make things tricky for a little while, but it'll be, like I said, it'll still be really good to have the boys back in school. And they ride the bus, so that certainly helps. But they're just going to be in school for a few days before we are traveling. Like I said, this is our belated Christmas celebration with my side of the family. We'll get to see my brother for the first time in a while, and his girlfriend, significant other, and it'll be the first time my entire family has been together, including like significant others and children. They don't have any kids. My brother doesn't have any kids, but all of us will have been together. It's been a few years because the virus really just threw everything for a total loop. So I am really, really looking forward to it. My mom, of course, I mean, all of us are, but especially my mom, I feel like, is just really, really, really looking forward to having her kids like all under one roof, along with like the grandkids and stuff like that. So thankfully I'm surprisingly not super nervous about traveling with the kids. I mean, Micah is truly the wild card because he's our little tiny tornado, and doesn't have a lot of impulse control and stuff like that. But I do feel like he has matured to a point where I'm worrying a whole lot less about traveling with him than I was before. When you're traveling with babies and toddlers and stuff, it's just always very unpredictable. Like, especially babies, it's like you just don't know. Like, what if they start crying and you can't get them to calm down and you're just stuck inside this metal tube hurtling at 1,000,000 miles per hour through at 10,000 feet, like, or 30,000 feet. It's like, you're stuck, and everyone else on the plane is stuck. It's very, very stressful. But I have no anxiety about Connor, and my anxiety about Micah is much lower than it might have been, traveling even 6 months ago. So there's that blessing in disguise from the virus, I suppose. But I just am going to be excited to see family. And I hope that the kids do okay. We did find out, this was completely unplanned, my brother and his girlfriend are flying in from Oregon, and we just so happened to have the same layover in Chicago and connecting flight from Chicago to my parents' state. So that was funny. And I did definitely make the joke. And I was like, oh, perfect. So we'll just hand the kids off to you. And Adam and I will go and we'll just kick back and you guys have got this. My brother laughed and he's like, I mean, it's the short shift. Like, sure, we could totally take the kids for that part. I was like, I'm totally kidding. Like, I'm not going to do that to you. But I thought that was fun. I was like, oh, we're going to be on the plane together. And I don't know how long our layover even is. It's not like we're going to get to like, let's hang out in Chicago. But I do hope everything goes smoothly just with airlines and airline shenanigans. Because yeah, that's the one thing that it's like, I just hope that things go according to schedule and according to plan with the actual airlines and they get me where I need to go. So I would appreciate any good vibes you guys have to send my way. I don't know if I probably will not have a WIP and Chat up next week because of how long we're going to be gone. And I wasn't going to necessarily pack a recording arm to take with me. Like, I don't want to try to film a WIP and Chat, like, at my parents' house where like other people are around us. I don't know. I just don't think that the dynamic is going to be there for that. And I think I'm going to want to soak up family time and not be trying to squeeze in filming and stuff like that. So WIP and Chat, I don't know that it'll happen unless I decide to just do a later week WIP and Chat next week. I will be vlogging for my Patreon, which I haven't mentioned my Patreon in a while. So just an FYI, as always, there's never any obligation whatsoever, but I have a Patreon. If you want to see lots of like behind the scenes content, I do a weekly vlog for the middle and top tiers of that, of the Patreon. You get to see a lot of behind the scenes. You get to see some of my kiddos. You get to see just generally like a lot less filtered content. Like I try to be extremely authentic and real with you guys here. But there's a little bit more polish that goes on in these contexts and in like these public videos. Patreon is a little more like I let my hair down. You see a lot of my face, actually, like a whole heck of a lot of my face. There's some other like bonus stuff. Like I just posted a D-stash spreadsheet with some like highly discounted kits in there and stuff like that. And we do like a monthly Zoom, or not Zoom. Wow, I'm a mess. A monthly live that's exclusive for the top tier of Patreon too. So that's something you want to check out, and it's another way you can support my channel. And all that always just anything that comes from that always goes back into creating content that I think you guys will and hope you guys will find helpful. I have it linked in my description box. Feel free to take a look, but you can also just completely ignore that I said anything about it because there's really truly not any obligation. I just like to mention it because some people don't know. Anyway, so I'll be vlogging a little bit as time allows. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I was debating whether or not I was like, do I want to take like a full size kit? Because we'll have some checked bags. We have some space, but I was like, am I really going to do that much diamond painting? Like, do I really want to do that? So I was like, maybe I'll take one of my Paint Gem mini sets. That's usually my go-to for traveling. It's so easy to just toss one of those in my bag. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan of those Paint Gem mini sets. They're so convenient. Hold up. I guess this is supposed to just have 4, not 6. Here we go. Match that chart. So yeah, but I was kind of like, I'm not going to pack my whole cross-stitch conversion because the diamonds alone would weigh like 1,000,000 pounds. Like I would exceed the weight limit of my suitcase just from the diamonds. So like I can throw a Paint Gem mini set in my carry-on, even though I'm not foreseeing myself being able to actually diamond paint on the plane because I'm probably going to be entertaining Micah. But I'll have it with me. And I'm sure my family, they'll be like, of course you're diamond painting. I'll be like, yeah, I brought some for you too. That should be their Christmas gifts. Is look, I got you a diamond painting kit, diamond paint with me. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on this week. It snuck up on me a little bit, but because I think we're just really in holiday mode and stuff like that. But I'm excited. I'm mostly excited for my mom's Christmas cookies. They're so delicious. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me make sure I've highlighted all those, and we're gonna keep moving on down because let's open up the next section. This will get so much easier when I'm not having to count both directions. Okay, so then I always just double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfect. I'm really happy with the quality on the drills and canvas for this cross-stitch conversion. I put my first try at a cross-stitch conversion on indefinite hold because both the drills and the canvas were just way too difficult to work with. And this all around has just been such a pleasant experience. I definitely recommend. I have a canvas and drills from Jada Gem Shop to do a different cross-stitch conversion project that I will definitely be trying. I'm also kind of itching. I was itching to start that too. It's like, ooh, my Loki cross-stitch conversion is calling my name. I was like, no. I don't want to have 2 cross-stitch conversions going at once if I can help it. So someday I will get to that one, I promise. Other updates. So, we finally gave the boys haircuts. That has been needing to happen for a while. Oh, look, Skip is... You just jump over the table where that was connected to? Okay. It's always a bit of a headache because Micah does not like any single step of the process. Now, oh, snap. What are you doing, kitty cat? you do? The table wasn't totally level and he jumped on it and it just, I thought that my phone was just gonna go down and hit the actual table. I mentioned before, you know, a number of times that I have kiddos with special needs, and part of that for them is lots of like sensory sensitivities, which I highly empathize with. But Connor did great. Micah struggled, but we got through it, and they're going to be going back to school tomorrow with fresh haircuts. And I asked Connor, I was like, do you think that like your teacher or your friends will notice? He was like, I don't know. I was like, you should wait and see and then come tell me after school if anyone noticed. It's a big difference. I mean, we just do like a trimmer and set it like at a 3 or whatever. And I just basically just go all over, buzz their heads, because it actually is a little bit easier to just do it ourselves at home and stuff. It doesn't look super stylish, but it's just the most comfortable thing for my kiddos. And so that's of course what I'm going to prioritize doing. But yeah, no, I was like, does your head feel lighter? Because that was a lot of hair, dude. He was like, yeah, it feels, he was like, I look so different. And he was like, Micah has a pancake head. And I was like, what does that mean? Okay. I was like, I mean, that's really like a nice thing. If that's really something that we want to say to someone, that, or I don't know if that's a commentary on my lack of hair chopping skills, but it's fine. It's fine. Kids say the darndest things. Connor has been cracking us up lately with some of the stuff that he's saying. Yeah, he's a hoot. So yeah, they're going back to school, and I won't really have necessarily I have a little bit in the way of my mornings back. Maybe I will be able to do some filming if I can manage to get myself out of bed. I have just unfortunately continued to stay up later and sleep in later. I am just in the worst cycle of that right now. And I feel like I'm really about to pay for it because I have to get up and get the kids ready for school in the morning. And we're about to travel and there's a 3-hour time difference, and it's actually, no, that's going to make it worse. We're about to have like a real rude awakening. I guess pun intended. I'm going to try to use melatonin just to sort of nudge my body into more of the right direction sleep-wise, but yeah, I'm not excited about that part. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, that. But maybe traveling will sort of help me hit the reset button. Everyone okay over there?
Sorry about all that. That would be the cat.
Again. Adam's trying to work. We've got this cat that is up to shenanigans.
Knocking things off my desk.
He's very much a stereotypical cat. Sometimes he'll do something and we'll be like, you are a stereotype. You are a complete stereotype. Like him playing with the box and like the crinkly packaging that my small shop haul stuff came in. I just was like, can you at least try not to be a stereotype?
Who knew when we got a cat they would give us such a cat?
Well, the problem is that our older cat is like so mellow that we barely even see her, let alone like have the chance to see her behaving as cats do. So that's keeping us on our toes, nonstop. Anyway, I actually, don't worry, I'm not abandoning diamond painting. It's still going to be my ride or die. But you guys, I finally returned to be fair, with some nudging. Credit where credit's due. I did return to one of my first loves that I have been neglecting sorely for a long time, like a really long time, basically since I discovered diamond painting, I think. And that's gaming. I don't consider myself like truly a gamer, But I have a few games that are near and dear to my heart that I feel like they're absolutely fantastic. Like story-wise, I enjoy the gameplay of them and stuff like that. And one of my it's up there. It's definitely in my top 3. It's in my top 2. I don't know if it gets the top spot or not. Is the original, the first Horizon Zero Dawn game. Kingdom Hearts is up there as well. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, probably 1. Maybe 2. And that the Kingdom Hearts franchise, generally speaking, is up there as well. And I don't know which one I would give the top spot. And what's my third? Oh man, I'm blanking on what I would call my third favorite game franchise. Anyway, Assassin's Creed. Probably one of the Assassin's Creed games. Maybe Black Flag. Anyway, Adam had gotten me the Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel, the second game. Actually very, very thoughtfully, like when he was going out of town and it had like just been released. It was one of those things that I said something to him about, like, you know, I don't play a ton of video games at this point in my life. And I said, but this was one of my like favorite games that I've ever played. And I have rarely ever asked, like, as I can, like once or twice, I have gotten a game on release day, and I was like, this is going to be one of those games that I don't want to wait for a sale for, because the first game was magical and I loved everything about it. And I was like, and the second one, I was like, I want to know like what happens in the story and all this other stuff. So he had surprised me with it as a gift, like, so I was have something to do when he was like going out of town. But I just have been so neck deep and so like hyper focused, like this, like diamond painting is my special interest. I want to spend like all of my waking hours on it, but it's in a more realistic way. It's, if I have free time to work on a hobby, it's going to be diamond painting. That's what I'm reaching for. But he got me the Horizon Forbidden West is the name of it. And I played it for just basically a couple of hours for 1 or 2 sittings. And then I just sort of slid back to diamond painting. And a little bit of it was because there's a bit of a learning curve. It's like to get back into it, it's like, okay, I have to get back in the groove of it, like getting used to the controls again, getting used to the combat system, like all this stuff. And so I think maybe I was just feeling impatient, and so I didn't reach for it again. But last night I did pull it out again and played for a couple hours, and I just started over because I hadn't gotten that far. I was like, let me just start over from the beginning, fresh start. Like, let me go through some of the like tutorial style stuff again. It's really fine. I could use a refresher. And Adam was hanging out with me and kind of watching too. And I really enjoyed it. I kind of just embraced the fact that it was like, this is going to take me a bit to get back into the groove of. That's really okay. And I'm just going to try to immerse myself in and enjoy the story. I even was like, you know what? I'm not proud. I'm going to set the difficulty level to pretty low so that I have fewer excuses not to play, so that I can like just enjoy the story and get back into the hang of the mechanics of the combat and stuff, and not let this be a barrier to me. So that's what I did. I don't have to like play it on a certain difficulty level, like just to justify it to someone. Like, I don't have to justify it to anyone else. Anyway, so I want to spend a little bit of time on that, like maybe, a couple hours here and there during the week, just to mix up, and also just be like, Adam did this really nice thing for me. I want to appreciate it. And I do want to play the game too. Like, I want to know what happens in the story. It hasn't been spoiled for me, so if by some stretch this is like, you're like, oh, I play this game, just don't spoil it for me. But yeah, like I said, I don't really consider myself like a true gamer. Like, I don't really do multiplayer stuff because, hello, that involves being around people. No. But some of these really like story-driven games where they have these characters with really interesting stories and stuff, like that's totally what I'm here for. So, Anyway, let me know, by the way, like, are any of you guys gamers as well? Or is it just me? So as far as Skip kitten updates go, he has been up to many shenanigans, as you have heard in this video. And heard me mention, like I said, he'd shoot through my mic cord while I was in the middle of filming my small shop haul. And the new one from Amazon should be here for me to be able to use very soon. And what else did he do? I don't know. He and our older cat are trying to figure it out. They get, I feel like, a little bit better every day. He just wants to play with her so bad. And she just is not there yet. So we're hoping they're going to figure it out. We are thinking that we don't necessarily want to just leave them here while we are gone, while we're out of town. So Skip is going to go stay with my in-laws, I think, while we're out of town. And he'll be fine. He should be fine with that. He seems like he's a pretty flexible cat, and he was nice with them when they came and visited today. But we didn't want to try to move Dolce. You know, she's like an older cat. She's pretty set in her routine. We didn't really want to board either of them either. So we're thinking this is probably our best bet. It's not ideal. We were hoping that they would be more comfortable with each other by this point, and that we would feel okay with just leaving both of them and just having someone coming in and checking on them, you know, once a day or whatever. But instead, I think we will leave Dolce here and then just have Skip hang out at Adam's parents' place. We did take Skip for his first vet visit. We finally were able to do that, and he got a clean bill of health and everything. So that's good. And yeah, so he's doing well. We just wanted to make sure because, you know, we got him from the shelter and wanted to make sure that, you know, he didn't pick up anything while he was there, even though, you know, they have vet care there and they give exams to cats and stuff before they send them out, but just to be totally safe. So we got that taken care of, and we'll get there. We'll get there with Dolce. I hope that us being gone and everything is not like a setback for them, but we'll deal with it if it is. This is just what it is. The kids will be missing a little bit of school, but this is just when it was practical for us to be able to fly, both in terms of cost and when my brother and his girlfriend were able to come. This is just what works for our family. So I, you know, even though I hate to have my kids miss school, this is how it's working out, and we need to actually see my side of my family and have our whole family together. So it'll be okay. We'll let his teacher know and make sure that Connor makes up the work and stuff like that. So Micah doesn't have homework yet, so we don't have to worry about that. I am also nervous because we finally got to a place where the kids and us are not sick, but my kids are going back to school tomorrow. So I'm like, it's the final countdown. Like, it's coming. We're gonna be sick. Hopefully, like, not before we go to Ohio. But I'm gonna be loading up on the vitamins, doing lots of hand washing and sanitizing and taking every reasonable precaution that I can, and just hoping that we manage to avoid getting sick for a hot second. I still need to call my doctor to schedule an appointment to have them look at my ear. Our new insurance is an HMO, which, if you're not in the States, you might not be familiar with, but we have to get referrals to specialists now. Like, that's part of it, is like if you have an HMO, the insurance makes you jump through more hoops, it feels like. It's also less expensive. But we have like a really good network of doctors available to us under our HMO. So like, we don't have like that downside at all, but the downside is we have to get referrals. Same thing with, I finally got a hold of someone and got someone on the phone at the speech therapy center that we want to take Micah to. Finally got someone on the phone, and they got, you know, us input into their system and stuff. But because we have new insurance as of the beginning of the year, we have to resubmit like an authorization for services. And so I had sent an email over to his pediatrician to let her know, like, hey, new insurance, new thing, like, what do you need for me to like update our insurance with you guys and submit the request for authorization so that we can get this started. And there is a short wait list. for speech therapy, but honestly, it's shorter than it was before, especially after when things started finally opening back up after with the pandemic and stuff. I actually said the word this time. We'll see. I don't know if YouTube is still really like filtering out people that say the words. But there just was a huge, like it was as much as like 6 months to a year backlog in terms of waitlist for services because everyone put everything on hold while that was going on. They weren't taking their kids in to be exposed to stuff for services, or places just like shut down. And so I'm like, they told me this time it's gonna be a 4 to 6 week wait. And I was like, 4 to 6 weeks? Yeah, no, we can handle like 4 to 6 week wait. Like that's fine. But we really do want to, we desperately want to get this rolling and have him in speech ASAP. So I was able to take care of that. I went and got my car re-smog checked after it spent a week at the dealer a couple weeks back. And then it was like, I had taken it for one smog check and it didn't pass because it said that there wasn't enough like data available. They're like, you got to go drive it around some more. It's how the emissions system like works or whatever. So it has to like learn your system or whatever. I'm like, and they hit the reset button when they do emissions repairs. I was like, smile, nod. Okay, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So we did that and I took it back and it said once again, like not enough data. And they're like, okay, unfortunately, this probably means that something is wrong and you need it fixed. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? I was like, well, I'm not taking it back to the dealer. And they said, no, your mechanic should be able to handle this. They pointed out, like they gave me the paperwork and they're like, saying it's one of these two things, either the oxygen sensor or the catalytic converter. And I was like, well, we're going to hope and pray that it's the oxygen sensor because that is a much less expensive and much less of a headache of a repair than if it's the catalytic converter. So we're bringing the car to the mechanic tomorrow, which is today for you guys. And I'm just going to cross my fingers and toes. Please, 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 please. And let this be a fix because I need to get my car to pass a smog check like yesterday. So just like I said, really working on knocking on my to-do list and feeling extremely grateful that my brain is still in a place where this task stuff, this executive dysfunction stuff is just not nearly as at play with me as it normally is or as it has been. So I am just going to continue to ride that wave. As long as I'm feeling this way, I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm just going to keep trucking along and trying to knock stuff out. And, you know, feeling good about that. So we'll see. I hope that traveling doesn't kind of throw a wrench in things, but if nothing else, hopefully I'll just feel more energized and less stressed about traveling, which I kind of already do. So I'll take that as a win. As far as, not that one. Don't select that one, please. Deselect. Oh, you guys can't see my tablet. That's okay. Say Skip is checking us out again, but one thing I forgot to mention is that he continues to be very attached to Connor in a very, very sweet way. Usually Connor gets up before Adam and I do in the morning and he hangs out downstairs for a little bit. You know, sometimes he'll play a little bit on the Xbox or watch like a little bit of YouTube or something. But it's so cute because without fail, we come downstairs and Skip is just chilling like in Connor's lap. He's so tolerant of Connor and so attached to Connor. It's like the best case scenario of best case scenarios. And Connor is just absolutely delighted. And it will forever and always melt my heart. Like I will never be tired of this. And it makes all of the kitten shenanigans completely 100% worth it. Like this is just so sweet. This is perfect. And I am so happy that Connor is so happy. And that Skip is so happy that he's got his buddy. Adam said that Skip basically treats Connor like a fellow kitten. Like we're buddies, like we hang out, like, you know, and that's why he's so tolerant of like Connor, like how Connor picks him up or something, where he might be less tolerant if Adam and I are doing the same thing to him, which is funny. Wait, did I get that one? No, you right here. Hold on, let me make sure, let me count. Are you a wrong drill? No, I just forgot to mark you off. Okay, okay. I was like, what is that? Why is that not marked off? Because I forgot to mark it off myself. Okay, I think I got all of that color. Nope, sure didn't. Okay, right there. I know some people when they're working on a cross-stitch conversion project, especially ones that are like really confetti heavy like this one is, that they might like look at the chart for the area that they're working on, and they'll use like a Sharpie, and ahead of time like they'll mark off like these are the spaces that these are going to go, and it's easier to like cross-check that with your pattern keeper app or whatever. But I just look at the chart and then just sort of count and eyeball it. And I work in such small sections like this that it hasn't totally come back to bite me in the butt yet. This just kind of works for my brain. But this is a lot of confetti in here. I'm trying to think, where in the image was this? Is this where like there's a portal that's about to open up? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm so happy to be starting my second panel of this project. I'm so happy. This is just so fun to be back to this and to be excited to be back to it. Part of it is just knowing that like the canvas and the drills are going to be nice quality. They're not going to be a huge headache to work with. So I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had to pick like for a long-term, large-scale project like this, how would you tackle something like it? If it were you, would you basically like be like, okay, I'm sitting down and like this is the only project that I'm going to work on no matter how long it takes? Or would you be like, okay, I'm going to work on it like a dedicated amount of time each month or each week or each day? Or would you have an approach that I feel like is kind of what my current thought is, which is that maybe I've started working on this now. Maybe I'll work on this till I get to a particular like count, or percentage complete. Like maybe I'll try to do like half of this panel and then work on a regular non-cross-stitch conversion project again. And then once I finish, like do another project, work on it, complete it. And then once it's complete, come back to this one again. I don't know. How would you approach a project like this one? I'm curious. Maybe I can borrow some of your approaches because maybe my approach will change over time. I mean, I do have a lot of this project left to do, so I'll have time to experiment, I suppose. Anyway, I feel like I have been chatting away for, I think we're at about an hour. I've had to break this up into a couple of clips. So I think we're at about an hour. I'm feeling I'm like looking back and going like, wow, this feels like this was a really disorganized and all over the place kind of WIP and Chat. I feel like I was struggling to kind of keep my thoughts collected. I feel like I was getting really flustered really easily, and then it was like throwing off like what I wanted to talk about or how I wanted to talk about it. But I think as tempting as it is to sort of hit the reset button and start over from the beginning, I think I'm going to leave it as is. I think I'm just going to try not to worry about being ultra polished or being like a particular kind of way. And this is going to be my WIP and Chat for the week. And if it wasn't your cup of tea, I get it. And I'm not mad. But if you enjoyed it anyway, that's cool too. Thanks for hanging out with me either way. I really appreciate you. And I do hope genuinely that you enjoyed seeing me start on this second panel and share a little bit of my process. I don't know. I thought it would be fun to do that. And I'm going to keep plugging away on this even when I finish this WIP and Chat because I'm enjoying myself so much. So I'm going to go refill my water, maybe grab a snack, get this video uploading for you guys so it's waiting for you as usual on Monday morning. But if you made it all the way to the end, let's see, what should our emoji of choice be today? How about just an emoji of like a face that just describes like your mood at the moment? We'll go with that. Just any emoji that just sort of, it doesn't even have to be a face actually, just any emoji that describes your current mood. We'll go with that. So you guys, thank you again for hanging out with me. I really do enjoy catching up with you about my week and stuff like that. Just as a reminder, I don't think I'm gonna have a WIP and Chat for you next Monday because I'm gonna be out of town, just enjoying time with family and stuff like that. But I will have some other content pre-recorded. I'm gonna get as much as I can pre-recorded for you. While also getting plenty of sleep apparently. So stay tuned for those things, and I will still be reachable. I'll be checking, I'll try to keep an eye on like my messages and emails and comments and stuff like that so I can still stay in touch with you guys that way. But I'm gonna let you go. If you enjoyed this video, could you give it a thumbs up on your way out? If you didn't enjoy it, that's okay. You can also leave a thumbs down. That YouTube likes thumbs downs. It's like, ooh, there's engaging content here. And if you're not already subscribed and you want to see a lot more diamond painting content from me, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And there's also a bell there you can hit if you want to be notified when I share new videos. So either way, you guys, I really appreciate that you took some time to hang out with me today. I hope you have a safe and healthy week, and I will chat with you again in the next one. Bye.